Hello. Thanks for joining us. This is the first time I'm doing a live thing like this. And we've got our new app out. So that's exciting. I've got my chit shirt on, crunching the numbers. I don't know if you can read that. I don't know if the video flips it or not, but hopefully you can read it. So we've got, I'm going to go through like how to go through our app. That we've got our budgeting system is different than a lot of other systems out there. So we used to have a spreadsheet that helped you kind of figure out how to use it all. Um, but our target audience, uh, hopefully you, are someone that probably doesn't love numbers, probably doesn't love budgeting. You're probably forced into this, and that's okay. So we figured that an app was an easier way to do this, an easier way to get more people involved and to use our system because our system's a little different. Hopefully it makes it a lot easier for you. The hard part is that an app is difficult to make. A spreadsheet, I can make those. Those are easy. I mean, the spreadsheet we've had, I can troubleshoot that thing. It's so nice. But an app, that is a whole new world for me. So it took us over a year to get this app made, just outsourcing it to different places because I don't know how to program. It's not my thing. So we finally released it beginning of the year. So I'm going to walk through it with you. And if you have comments, if you have questions, just put them in the chat. Hopefully I'll see them. I'm using this, it's called Restream. I've never used it before, but seems like it's a good one. So hopefully they show up in this little chat thing for me. If not, I'll just talk to myself the whole time and I won't know what your comments are. So I'm going to start out by just showing how to get into the app, how it starts out. And again, if you have questions, great, just put them in there, interrupt me. I'll just answer them as we go. So we're going to start out here. This is the first screen you'll see. Happy Giraffe budget. You won't have an email address and password to begin with. So come all the way down and click on create an account. And let's see if I didn't save. I'm going to go back here and grab this one that I made. So let's see, paste that in. I'm going to make up a dumb password. It has to be at least 8 characters, capital. I'm going to delete this after this, so don't try to steal it. Okay, so you type all that in and it'll send you an email. Is that the right one? There we go. Okay. So got the verification in. This is the very first step here. Again, our budgeting approach is unique. So it's a little bit different, but that's okay. I'm going to show you what it's like. Again, we did this because I realized that there are people who don't love budgeting, and we want to get you over that initial shock of getting into it, getting things started. So here we are. You can select your currency. We have people that use this all over the world. So you can select whatever you want here. It just changes the symbol. It doesn't change, like we don't do currency conversion, anything like that. This is way simpler. So if it just shows the dollar, it's just a symbol. The app only cares about the numbers. Okay, so we're going to go to the first step here. So first step is, what do you have available right now? So like in the example here, you're going to see these little pop-ups at the start, and just kind of the giraffe helping you walk through and figure out what each step means. That only happens the first time you go through the budget. But like it says here, if your rent's due tomorrow, you've got to have money available somewhere. Whether it's in one bank account, whether you have several bank accounts. The app doesn't handle several bank accounts like that. Like, it doesn't care. we're trying to simplify budgeting. So it just all the money you have, combine it all together, add it up. I'm just going to make up an amount, and we've got an example here. I'm just going to go through an example of, let's see, probably like a family of 4 somewhere in Utah. The only interesting thing about these numbers is that they bought their house a while ago because their mortgage is only $2,100 a month, which would be fabulous. I'm sure if anyone's bought a house recently, they're paying a little more than that. So let's just say you've got $5,000 in your account because it's the end of the month. So hopefully you've got enough to pay your mortgage and a few other bills coming up here soon. The next one is income sources. So this is how you get paid. Like it says in here, don't count tax returns, bonuses, overtime, anything like that. That's not, you don't want to depend on those things. So those are happy surprises. That's a good thing. And if it changes over time, then just estimate on the low side because your whole budget's based on this actually happening. So like in the example here, I'm gonna do one of these here on the bottom. You can click new. I'm gonna say these people have like an Etsy shop, and they're used to making about 400 by the end of the month. That's what they think they'll make. So that's what I'm going to put in here. And like I said, if that's higher or lower, that's okay. I'll show you how to figure that out. But yeah, just take a lower estimate if you have to make an estimate. So that's one of their incomes is the Etsy shop. Let's say the other one is just the main job. You can call it whatever you want. Let's see, $2,100 a month. Not monthly. This one is every other week. And I'm going to say they get paid today, just because it's easier to type it in. But put in when you actually get paid. You can put in an end date if you want to. Hopefully for income, you're not planning on an end date. There's also, I didn't show you this, but the little remind me box down here, it'll send you a little text, not a text, it'll send you a little notification on your phone if you want, just on that day so that you remember that it's happening. So I'm going to save that. Okay, so I got my 2 incomes in there. You can sort them. If the list gets big, it won't on this one, but you can sort them by name or the amount. I just group them by the frequency here. So I got a monthly one every other week. Okay, so we got our income in. That's probably the easy part. Just what you have right now, your income. Hopefully this is easy so far. But this part gets a little harder. So fixed expenses. So these are just like bills, things that you know are going to happen, and you probably know how much they are. But you can add in all of them, like if it's once a year, if it's every 6 months, whatever it is, put all of them in here. And on this one, you're going to estimate high if it's different. So I'm going to do an example here. Let's see, we've got a mortgage for them. Mortgage is $2,100 a month. Like I said, I realize that is low compared to other people today. And then the next time it's going to happen is on February 1st. I know that's a Sunday, but it'll just, it's okay. You can have that be, like you can fix that later based on the day that you actually pay it. Okay, so we got a mortgage in there for them. So utilities is always a hard one because there's like electric and gas. And for me, at least, they go kind of opposites. So like the total is somewhat consistent, but individually they go higher and lower. You can't put in just like utilities as one thing, which I'll show you why in a little bit. So I'm going to put in electric for, let's see, their total is $300 a month. So I'm going to do $150 for each. And I'll show you how we handle that in just a little bit. And I'm going to hope that those happen about the same time. I'm going to put them on the 15th. of next month. So we've got electric and let's put in gas for them and put that in as 150 as well. That's monthly, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna hope that those go together, kind of at the same time, and I'll show you how to handle that in a little bit. So we've got electric, gas in there for them. They've got to have some kind of car payment. I'm going to say they've got a minivan because they're in Utah. So I had a minivan most of my life, and it was great. So don't knock minivans; they're awesome. Okay, monthly. Let's say that one happens on like the 10th of every month. And you got to have some kind of cell phone in there. And I don't know what cell phones would be for a family of 4. Let's go like 175. That sounds good. Yeah, that's monthly, and let's put that out somewhere. That can hand them on a random day, like the 12th. Okay, so this is the hard part because you put in all the different things, and you can go back in and edit them. Like you can go in and edit the cell phone one. We've got weekly, every other week, 1st and the 15th, yearly, one-time ones. Like remember to put all the different things in. It's hard because you're gonna have to go through your different bank accounts and just go through the history and see like which ones happened every month. So you get them all in here. You can do every 4 weeks, every couple of months, whatever it is. We've got like second Wednesday, third Wednesday, fourth Wednesday, things like that, because those are, I forget, Social Security, something like that happens on those. So those aren't really expenses though. And then you can update it if you've changed anything. And again, this one you might actually want to use the sort by because it's going to be a big list. So you can do it by name, by amount, low to high, high to low, whatever it is, just so that you can help see, because you're going to have a pretty big list here by the time you get done. Then the next step is custom boxes. So this is different in our system. It's kind of like setting up an envelope just for a specific thing. So I'm going to do a custom box for this family. They're going to try to go to Disneyland. So I'm going to make a box called Disney, and then I'm going to fill it. So a little fill button there. Let's see, we're going to fill it with, how much are they saving every month? They're saving up $200 a month. And they're going to do that on the 1st every month. And so this is like a little saving spot for them. So they're going to try to put money into this, have a box for it, and then when they actually do go to Disney, they can spend from this box instead of from the main money. So again, the boxes probably won't make sense right now, but hopefully it'll make sense in a little bit when we get to it, when you can see it working in the budget. Buffer is going to be on kind of the same way. It's a little confusing at first, but it'll make sense in just a little bit. So we put in our income and we put in our expenses, what we hope they're going to be, and the timing that we hope they're going to be, but in real life, they don't actually happen like that. So there's a separate box that's called your fixed box that handles the differences between what you thought was going to happen and what actually happens. So I'm just going to put $100 in there and just leave the default. When it gets low, let me know. This part is where things get different. So in other budgets, you probably put in your income, probably put in your expenses, maybe even set aside a little money for something special, like savings or something like that. So here's where everything changes. The app is forecasting the timing, the amounts, all of that for the next 2 years. And it's saying, here's what's happening. The goal here is to get this over-under forecast as close to 0 as you can. So we're going to start out $0, and you can see the over-under here is 406.50, which means that I can go up to hopefully $405. Yeah. Okay. So they don't go under. So sometimes when you get really close to that over-under, it makes your days negative or your lowest balance go negative, and you don't want that. that means you're not going to have the money you need when you need it. So you've got to lower your weekly allowance. So it makes sense. You can change your refill day. I'm just going to leave it on Monday right now, but you can have any day of the week be your start day. But we're going to make it easier. So your happy money is going to cover all of your other expenses. So like when I asked, you just Google, I was like, hey, what are things normal people put in their budget? What's kind of a typical budget? And it's like, oh, well, groceries is this much, and gas for your car is this much, and kids' activities is this much, and clothes and eating out. And I'm like, we don't want to create a category for every one of those things. It's too much, and it's way too confusing. So we're going to put it all into this weekly allowance. You can spend it on whatever you want. I don't care what it is, as long as you don't go over that amount. So as long as this family doesn't spend more than 405 every week, it doesn't matter what they spend it on. As long as they don't spend more than that, they're going to be fine. So I'm going to finish 405 there. And because the budget starts on Monday, but you need to get to Monday. Today's Saturday, and you got to be able to get to that point. So it's going to give you 115.71, just kind of a prorated amount for that happy money. You can click on more details here, and that'll show you your whole 2-year forecast. So like today, I said that I was going to get paid today, and then let's see, I've got my fixed buffer coming out. I've got the prorated happy money, and then on the 26th, in just a couple days, I'm going to get my full $405 every week. And I've got my Etsy shop that I hope is $400. I'll show you how to handle that in just a second. You can click on the different months, and you can see all the different things happening. So this is tracking everything, all the mortgage payments, your savings for Disney, cell phone, electric, gas, all those things. And it's forecasting those out for the next 2 years, all the way out. Like I could go all the way to December of 2027 and say, this is exactly what my bank balance is going to look like. This is my finances, like every detail for the next 2 years. Pretty nice. Okay, so we're going to come back here, continue. And you're going to see this screen. Again, this is just because it's the first time coming through everything. Just going to kind of show you how to use the app. So little giraffe icon in the bottom right or bottom left there. That's how you get to your Happy Money screen. That's the main screen you're going to use. And you can swipe over anytime you need to add an expense, or if you get income that you didn't plan on, you can just click that little plus button, put it in there, and it'll add or subtract from your Happy Money there. There's the boxes. It's a little box down there that shows you that in our example, it'll have the fixed box. Everyone has a fixed box. And then ours will have Disney instead of savings. So you can put money into and out of those. There's a calendar section that I'm going to show you. It maps out all of your income and expenses, all of your bills for the next 2 years. Super nice. A lot of people spend a ton of time mapping those out, like every month, like on a physical calendar, trying to time everything out. And this does it all for you, which is super nice. And then in the bottom, you can see which ones you have, and I'll show you how to handle them in just a second. There's the settings over there. That's got lots of options. You can see your stats. You can see the level that you're at. There's a little game in here where you get leaves for doing things. And just to kind of encourage you to use the budget, stick to it. So let's see, we've got, oh yeah, here's the part about the game. Yeah, you earn a leaf each day that you use the app. And then if you get to the end of the week and you're still within your Happy Money, you get 15 leaves. And every time you hit 50, you level up to the next level, and you can see your tree getting more and more leaves as you go through that. So then it's going to take you to the main Happy Money screen. Oh, leaf popped up super fast there. So you've got your prorated amount for this week. We've got 115.71. And I've got one leaf already just because I started using the app today. And you can see I'm on Saturday. Let's look over at the boxes. So I got my fixed box up there. I got my Disney box, which right now is empty because I'm just starting. And on the first, it'll automatically put $200 in there for me. This is the calendar. You can see I've got my main job there. I've got the Etsy shop here. Then if I go into next month, I've got my mortgage happening, my main job, I should get paid again then. The minivan payment, you get your cell phone, electric, gas, all of those things. So you can scroll through here and look out, like I said, for the next 2 years, which is super nice. And then you've got your stats on this page. So I'm going to start out. Let's go back to this page. Let's just say today we had to go get groceries. So just going to add an expense here for, I don't know, $75. And let's say I went to Walmart, and Happy Money is the default, and the date is today is the default. And you can put notes in here if you want. Let's say we just got food. That's all. You can also do income. You can do transfers. Just like if you get money that you didn't expect, you can put it in as income. You can also transfer money between the different boxes. Okay, so there it showed up. I just went to Walmart, spent $75 on food, and now I'm Happy Money went down a lot. It looks like a lot on this one because I'm almost at Monday. Like I've only got today and tomorrow, and then on Monday I'll get my full allowance. So let me go over to the calendar to show you how that one works. So your main job, I was hoping to make $2,100 every other week the whole time. So let me click on that and say what actually happened. So what actually happened is taxes were a little higher than I thought they were this time. So I got $2,095. So there's a difference between what I thought I was going to get and what I actually got. And it says there that the $5 is going to be removed from the fixed buffer. So that's what the buffer's for, is to handle those differences. So I'm going to save that. And now it's checked down here. And if I go over to the fixed box, I can see that I put $100 in there, and then there was a difference of $5. So I took $5 out. So this is where all those differences are going to happen in this fixed buffer box here. So I can also do an example like the Etsy shop. So I was hoping to make $400 every month. Let me click into there. Let's say I actually got $700 this month because it was a good month. And it's just going to put that difference into the fixed box. Sorry. Let me change the date on that because it happened today. So now it's all on the right day. I got $700. It was a good month for Etsy. Let's see, go over to the fixed box, and there it is. So this is where the transfers can help. So I've got $395 now just sitting in this fixed box, and I probably don't need it there forever. So I'm going to just add that to Disney for a little while, or for now. So I'm going to do a transfer of let's say $200. I'm going to take that from the fixed box and put it in my Disney one. There we go. Okay, so I got a good little buffer in my fixed box still, and I got some money in Disney, which is pretty nice. And then, yep, I've still got my money over here in Happy Money. I've just got enough to get through till Monday. So that's how the calendar site works, which is super nice to me. I love using this site because you can, like I said, you can put what actually happened, and it maps out what you would hope would happen for the next 2 years. Same with gas and electric, just like with the Etsy shop. You're just going to enter what actually happens. Whether it's high or low, doesn't matter. It'll come out of the fixed box. And like I said, if for me at least, gas and electric kind of balance each other out. One goes high, the other one usually goes low, different times of the year. So overall, it's about $300 for this family. And so individually, you can't just do like utilities, because I've got two bills to put in there, and I can't put two different bills in there. Like when I do electric, I've got an actual amount. I guess you could add them together if you want, but it's easier if they're separate, and it's totally okay if you're way high, way low, just like with the Etsy shop. Totally okay if it's different. The difference will just come into or out of this fixed box. So that's where that is all handled. Um, so there's one example for a family, how they would use it. You can add in more transactions there. The view all just shows you, you went to Walmart. You can also search for transactions in here if you want to. So that's the app. Let's see. Oh, I didn't show you the stats part. This part's fun. So this will show you how many leads you got. Right now I got 1 out of 50. Every week that you stay within your budget, you'll get a Happy Money score. So within budget, over budget, that just stays over time. So it's not like a streak that you're going to lose, which is nice. There's also the Happy Money streak and the daily check-in streak. So every time you check into the app, you get it. It adds to your streak for that. And every time you stay within your Happy Money, that'll add to that streak. But it's super frustrating when you lose your streak. I've had that happen in other apps, other things, and I hate it when that happens. So I made the score one just so that it doesn't go away. It's always like, if you were within your budget, 7 weeks, and then 1 week you weren't, it would just show 7 and 1. So it's not a horrible thing. You don't lose your number. So I like the score better than the streaks, just because it is easy to miss 1 day or 1 week and mess things up. So don't feel bad if your streak goes away. The score is a nicer one for you. And let's see what else is here. Oh, your pays and your sources. So Walmart. Let's say I like to have the dash in there instead. Or there we go. Is that how it is? It used to have a dash at one point. So it'll change that to Walmart there. And then back here, it'll change it on all the transactions that have that. Which again, kind of nice just to be able to see all your different pays, and you can delete them too if you've got extras in there. If you typed in Walmart like 3 different ways, you can just delete the wrong ones. You can also do, let me see. Oh, you can edit transactions too. So go into the Walmart one, realize that you bought food and also some shoes for your kids, something like that. You can just type that in there. So the nice part about doing a budget this way is, again, I don't care what you spend your money on. As long as you stay within, in this case, 115 by the time you hit Monday, then you did fine. It doesn't matter. Whatever it was, whether it was on groceries, food, shoes, clothing, kids' activities, whatever it was, that's the money you had to use. And it only lasts a week, which is great because that's all you have to care for. In this case, on Monday, I'm going to get a whole new allowance. And I can use it on whatever I want that week. And that week's probably going to be different from last week and from the next week after that. So the system is really nice because it lets you focus on what matters. You don't have to track all these different things. Like I said, I don't care whether you use it on eating out, whether you use it on, I like to go to Maverick almost every day and get a drink. So that's what I choose to spend my money on. And that's okay. I don't care what you spend your money on. As long as you don't go over, it doesn't matter. Then you didn't do anything wrong. So like I said, that's kind of the idea of the app. Let's go in here and edit your budget. Sorry, that was just saying you're redoing your budget. So it's going to lock the things in the past because you're kind of starting over. The history still is there. You just can't edit it after you redo stuff. So again, let's say I've got 5,000 in the bank, and you'll notice that if you go through this time, the little pop-ups aren't there. They're always up there in the top right. You can click on the little giraffe, and that'll help you see what it is you're supposed to be looking at and doing in this step. So let's say my main job, I just got a raise. I'm up to 2,500 every other week now, so I can update that. And let's see, we can leave all those things. I'm going to add in like an Amazon subscription. So I don't know what that's up to now. I think, is that 150 a year? Let's say that's yearly, and that's going to happen, I don't know, somewhere out here, May 15th. So there I've got my expenses. I got my boxes. I'm going to add in another box for savings because it is nice to have savings. So you have to add the box, then you have to fill it. So I'm going to fill that one. I'm going to put, I don't know, $50 a month in there. We'll start that one on the first as well. Okay, so yeah, I got my 2 boxes, got money going into them. The buffer amount is going to show what you have in your fixed box right now. I got 195 in there, so I'll just leave that. And now you can see that over and under is 186. So I realize that for a lot of first-time users, the idea is you want your money going sky high, as much as you can. For this case, you want that to be as close to zero as you can get it, because that means you're using it all in some way. So whether you use it here for a weekly allowance, or like I've got 186 a week that I'm not using right now. So let's go back here. I can change this savings. I'm going to make that just to show you what it's like. 175 weekly. We can start that today. So there we go. Now I'm good. Now I'm closer. So that over under getting closer to zero. So that's good. So if I know that I only need $405 a week, then I can go back into those other steps and put money into savings, towards debt, whatever it is, which is great. But yeah, your goal is to get that over and under close to zero, because otherwise the money's just sitting in your bank account and you're not using it. So this one had a little bit extra. Looks like can I move that up to 425? Oh, I can. Look at that. Down to $3 left. So I could move that up to 428.36. It looks like that would be the. See if I go up to 428.37. I'm just barely over. So that means that over and under is kind of like your trend for the next 2 years. And that's just telling me that overall for the next 2 years, I'm just barely overspending by a penny every week. And you probably don't want that. I'm never going to go negative. My account's never going to go negative in this example. And the lowest my balance will ever get is $750. So it's helpful though to make sure that you're not overspending. So let's see, put that back to 425. Actually, let me do an example that is more typical. So this is a good ideal. Like you want to have your days never go negative. Your lowest balance is a pretty good healthy amount. But let me add in. Let's say I've got like a yearly expense. Oh yeah, instead of this Amazon one being 150, let's make this like, I don't know, $1,000. Just like a one-time thing out in, let's say that's going to happen here in February. What's that going to do? There we go. So now I've got some bad stuff happening. And I know I can't spend this much anymore. So let's take this down to 415. Oops, too many. There we go. So here's an example where your over and under is fine. Like overall, you're totally okay. But in reality, you're going to have 3 days when you're trying to spend the money and it's not in your bank account. You're going to go down to like 123.57 if you actually tried to pay all those bills, which you're not going to be able to because the money's not in your bank account. So this is more typical of what happens. You try to get that over and under all the way down to zero, and it just doesn't work because timing of money, and that's totally normal. So I'm going to take this one down to 410. There we go. So all the numbers are green, complete. And let's see, go to more details so you can see what that looks like. So in this case, I've got the savings monthly, 175, the fixed buffer, leaving that at 195. Disney's going to happen soon. Oh no, Disney. Current Disney is what I've already got in that box. So that's good. That's already there. Prorated Happy Money. That's what I'm going to get just to get me through until Monday. And then I'm going to start getting $410 every week after that. Again, the Etsy shop is still in there, and savings, all that stuff. So you can go out for the next 2 years, see what that looks like. And in this case, we never go negative, which is nice. That's what you want. So we're going to come back in here. This is going to be reset on the Happy Money because we just did a little budget reset. And I can't go back and edit previous things, but that's fine. In my box, see, I've still got $195, left that in there. Disney's got 200, savings as 175. Then I've got a little more to work with. That's nice. There's my main job, Etsy, and I accidentally left in Etsy again. It already happened, but I accidentally left that in when I redid my budget. So that's how you use the app. That's kind of how you redo your budget. I'm gonna do. Let's see. I'm gonna delete this user. That's in profile. I'm going to delete this account. There we go. Okay. So, like I said, that's an example of how to use the app. Some of the questions that we get a lot are, the first one is, should I put groceries as a fixed expense? And you can. I suggest trying to put it in your Happy Money because it's not really a bill. So try it out in your Happy Money first. Try to put as much as you can into your Happy Money because that'll make it the easiest. That's the easiest way to budget is to just have it all be in that one place. But if it isn't working out, if you find that you're getting to towards the end of the week and you're completely broke and you're like, every week this happens and I just can't do this, I need to put money aside, then that's totally fine. You can make a box for groceries and just say, I'm going to put this much every week into groceries just so I know that it's there. Or you can put every month. Like if you really want monthly for groceries, make a box for groceries and fill it monthly. And then as you spend, you can spend from there. I didn't show you how to do that, but instead of the Happy Money box, when you make an expense, just select your other custom box that you made. So that is totally fine if you need to use it that way. But again, try it out first with just having the Happy Money be everything for you. The other question we get a lot is, especially for spouses, combined, like how do you handle that? So it's nice if you can just spend everything from your Happy Money for the both of you. So for me and my wife, everything comes out of the one place. She can see everything I spend. You can, for the free version of this app, you can load it onto 2 different devices and they sync automatically. So the other person can always see what's going on. I like that. It keeps us on the same page. I know what she spent money on. It's right there. She knows what I'm spending on, and we can both see what the total is for that week and how to use it. It keeps us on the same page, which is great. But if that doesn't work for you, you can do a box just for you, in a box for your spouse. And instead of spending out of Happy Money, you just spend out of that box. Like I said, and you can fill it on any kind of schedule you want, whether it's weekly, monthly, whatever it is. That's an option. But again, try it out with everything coming out of Happy Money. Try it out the simplest way possible first, where you're just worried about that one weekly number and that's it. If it doesn't work for you, totally fine. You can change things up. I know like uh, we made a box for our dog just because the haircuts alone are like $150. And I was like, I don't want that money coming out of my happy money that week. Like that's gonna take a ton. That's a big hit that week out of our happy money. So I made a separate box just for our dog, mostly just for the haircuts because they're expensive. um, so yeah, totally fine if you need to customize it for whatever that works, just fine. Um, let's see some of the other questions, like utilities. Yep, they change every month. So put in your best guess. It's best if you can guess high, um, because that way, if it comes in lower, that money gets added to your fixed box, and then you can do whatever you want with it. You can transfer it over your happy money. You can leave it in that box, whatever you want. Um, it's a better experience for you if you guess high on your expenses and they come in lower. So if they change every month, just guess high. Same with income, like you saw with the Etsy thing. Guess low. If you have to guess $400 a month in that case, and then it turns out to be 700. That's great. You can use the extra 300. Do whatever you want with it. That's a nicer surprise than hoping for 700 and then not having that come in, and then you've got a $300 under that you've got to figure out what to do with. You don't want to do that. Let's see. Oh, one of the nice things with our system is it doesn't matter how often you get paid. So like a lot of budgeting systems use monthly, and so then you got to figure out, like if you get paid every other week, like in my example there, you've got to figure out how to handle that, because some months you're going to get paid 3 times. In other most months you get paid twice. Um, our system just handles all that for you. You don't have to worry about it. So that is nice. One of the other things is, if you've got big expenses, like in that example I had $1,000 going to Amazon, which isn't how much the Prime subscription actually costs. But if you have like a big expense that's once a year, the app helps you save up for that because it knows that it's going to happen. So in that case, I had $150 at one point due to Amazon, like in March, um, and and I don't have to worry about like saving up to make sure I have that amount ready, because the app did that for me. When I created my budget and those 3 little checks were green, that means I had the money when I needed it for all of those expenses. So if you have like a bigger one-time expense, I know for us we do our car insurance is every 6 months, so it's a bigger number every 6 months, and I would just put that in there, and when I get to the happy money screen, uh, as long as those 3 checks are green, then I have enough for that bill when it's due. Um, so it's just really helpful that the app is doing all that for you, because otherwise you have to worry about like saving up for it, and it can be messy. Um, so yeah, the way this works, just hopefully for you, is just the simplest thing you can possibly imagine. Let's see, what are some of the other questions? Um, yeah, how do you handle bonuses, tax refunds, all of those? Just extra, like that's the wonderful happy extra amounts. Just don't plan on it when you're creating your budget in the different steps. um, yep, I get paid every other week, my spouse gets paid monthly. Yep, just put it all in the app, it'll figure it all out for you. Let's see, should we have separate accounts or combine everything? That's a big one. I Again, our system, the app, we're trying to make it as simple as possible. So we're going to assume you're combining everything. Um, that you just got one basic bank account where your money comes in and money goes out. That's because that's really all you need for a budget to work. Um, I totally understand if people have separate accounts. Uh, just add them together and put them in the app, because the app doesn't have a way to track like all the different accounts and the balances and everything like that. We're trying to simplify the process and make it as easy as possible. And the easiest way is to have all your income go into one place, all your expenses come out of that same place. Um, so yeah, uh, it's totally okay if you do have separate accounts. I would say just make separate boxes for each of you if that's how you want to handle it. Um, that would work. And the timing on any of those can be whatever you want. Like that, you can use the drop down and it's got all the options there. Let's see, how do you handle it when one person is a spender and one person's a saver? That's totally fine. As long as you're on the same page. And hopefully the app helps you do that. If everything is coming out of your Happy Money every week, then hopefully you're able to have those conversations right when it happens and not at the end of the month. Because if you get to the end of the month and find out that one of you spent money on clothes and the other spent money on I don't know, guns, something like that, and you didn't know the other person didn't know that until the end of the month, and you're like, oh my gosh, like our bank account's super low. That would be horrible. uh, ho- Hopefully, using this app, you're on the same page. You buy the stuff for your gun, you buy the shoes, whatever it is, the clothes. It's going to show up there, and then you can have that conversation right away and say, wait, we've only got $500 this week, and you just spent $250 on whatever it was. Now we have to live the rest of the week on the 250 that's left. Was that a good choice? Should we do that next week? And it's totally okay if it takes a few weeks for you to figure out how much you actually need, and how things work for you. Um, it I know people talk about having a budget that's customized just to them, and this really can be, because it can work for whatever your situation is. Um, so yeah, get on the same page. It's super important because whether you like it or not, your choices to buy whatever it is, whether you think they're totally justified or the other person doesn't, it affects the other person. Um, so it's really helpful if you can both see what each other is spending on, and you can have some of those hard conversations right away, before they compound. And like I said, when it's a monthly budget, you wait till the very end, and then you just guilt yourself the whole time at the very end, and it doesn't help very much. This way, you're seeing everything every day, and hopefully you're able to have those conversations a lot sooner, and figure out what to do going forward. Let's see. An emergency, yeah. What if you should have an emergency fund or not? I definitely think you should, if you can. It's super helpful because there are big expenses that come up that you're not planning on. I mean, your washer's going to die, the dryer, the heater for your house is going to go out. You're going to need a real roof at some point. Like, things are going to happen. Just it's part of life that you didn't plan on. It wasn't in your plan that you made. That they're definitely going to happen. So if you can have a separate emergency fund to handle those things, so much better. The way I do that is I have that as one of my fixed expenses, and it's like a bill that I pay, and it goes to a separate account that's just for that emergency fund. It's not in the app anywhere. I don't see that money any other time until I have an emergency and I need to figure out if we have enough to cover it. So I put it in as a bill, and then, like I said, that money just goes to a separate account, and I don't look at it anymore. You can do that in the app. Like, you can have it like I made a savings box, and you can put it in that box if you want. That just makes it more visible, and it's a little easier to spend if it's there. So I like having a separate account for stuff like that. Let's see. Can I save for multiple goals at once? Yep. You just make a separate box for those. Um, how do you track your spending without it taking over your life? So hopefully the app is pretty quick. Like, if you're at Walmart, you just spent the money, you can just put it in right away. You just hit the plus button, you type in the amount. Once you have the different like payees in there, you just start typing it, and it'll drop down and show you the options. So it should be like 10 seconds or less to enter something in the app. Um, what's also coming though soon for people who are treetop donors, there's an option in the app where you can become a treetop donor. It gets rid of the ads on the top, uh, and it'll also open up the banking side. And the banking side, you can connect your different bank accounts, and then it'll pull in as often as the bank sends them all of your transactions, and then it just one screen with all the transactions, and you just say whether what box that transaction goes to. That's all you have to do. Um, or if it matches up with something in your calendar, you just go to the calendar side and select which item it is, and it'll fill it out. Um, so that'll help you not miss things. Because, like I said, I like the Maverick runs to get a drink almost every day, but I don't always remember to put it in. So I'm looking forward to using the banking side of the app. It's brand new. It hasn't actually come out yet as of today, but it should be. I'm hoping in the next week that that's all done. We're testing it right now, but it isn't all the way there yet. But once it does come out, I'm hoping it's super nice. I'm looking forward to it because, like I said, it's really easy to miss some of those small things that you spend on. We we spend money so often every day. It's really easy to miss little things, and then to never even go back and put that into the app. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that because it'll just have all the transactions in the app, and then I can be like, oh yeah, I didn't put that one in. Yeah, put that in the right box. So that's how you handle not having it take over your life, because I don't want it to. We designed the system for people who don't love budgeting. I'm assuming that you're forced into this because you have to budget, because you're like, I don't have enough money to just spend all the money I want, because that's most people. Most people don't have enough to just do everything they want, and that's okay. So I'm assuming you don't love this. I'm assuming you aren't like all in on just tracking everything and making your own spreadsheets and stuff. That's probably why you're using this app instead. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible, um, and not make it take over your life, but still help you feel like you have control over what's happening. Um, and then let's see. Yeah, one of them here. My budget looks great on paper, but it doesn't always work in real life. So yeah, that's what normally happens with a monthly budget. If you start at the beginning of the month, you map everything out for that month. You create all the different boxes for all the different things. That's probably not going to go well. Just honestly, it doesn't work for most people. If it works for you, that's wonderful. Keep using it. But for a lot of people, uh, as you go through the month, things just don't work out the way you hoped. You said you were only going to spend $500 on groceries, and you spent that in the first week, and you're like, now I got to go the rest of the whole month, and I don't have enough money for groceries. But you're still going to eat, so then you just go over budget. With our system, again, it's weekly, and it's just one number to hit every week. So hopefully, it helps you realize what you're spending and plan for the rest of the week at least, and to see where you maybe spent too much on things. And if you overspend, totally fine. Just that'll roll over into next week, and you can start next week low, or you can hopefully pull the money from an emergency fund or somewhere else, just to get the week started over. But yeah, every week is a new allowance. You can spend it on whatever you want. And if you have a spouse, just work together as you go, figure it out. And it'll be tough at first because you're probably not used to seeing every little thing that each other spends money on, and you're not probably used to having all of that combined. But hopefully that leads to some good conversations. It'll be hard at first, but they will eventually be good conversations. And then you'll get on the same page, and then yeah, this won't be something that takes over your life. So that's all the kind of questions that I had ready to look at, and going through the app. Hopefully that made sense. If not, that's okay. Just uh, let us know. Shoot me an email, and we can walk through things together. Uh, and help you out. Like, I mean, we created this whole nonprofit just to help out people. So that's what we want to do. We want to make budgeting an easier experience for you. So hopefully this does that. And we'll do some more of these budgeting parties, and I'll let you know ahead of time so that you can schedule it and be ready and have your numbers and have, you know, whatever questions you have, you put them in the chat and I can answer them as you go. So thank you so much for